Hey, Jason Rice here at Lotpop, and we're going to do a little bit something different. I'd never wanted to be one of those people that do a live post every day, but I think December is wrapping up the year going into next year. I think there's quite a bit to cover to make sure you're going into 2019 correctly. So instead of every day, every work day, Monday through Friday, you're going to try to put a little tip out there. Some are going to be quicker than others. But for this one, we're going to do the do's and don'ts, 21 days of do's and don'ts for your dealership. And one of the things I posted about last week, I believe, was CPO and appraisals are the two areas that you definitely want to be maximizing as a dealer going into 2019 and for the year. New car stats are already showing new car sales are down. Even though November was strong, it was still showing, I think, 2.5% less than the November prior. So if we're going into next year and new car sales do get soft, you got to make sure your appraisal process is right to get those trades. Again, trades are easier to sell, better gross profit, less likely to age. So you want those trades and be able to maximize them as much as possible. So every appraisal, doesn't matter if it's a purchase car or one at the curb, you want to make sure you get it into your system, like your First Look, your vAuto, Inventory Plus. Make sure you get every appraisal into your system. And then you need to track and trend how you're doing, because trades matter to how your inventory sits, how your gross profit is, and how many deals obviously you do, and so trades are usually the most important thing that happened on your showroom floor, but less likely to get tracked. You probably know exactly how many ups you did, how many incoming calls, how many emails you got, what your closing percentage on those leads, but do we focus as much attention on appraisals? And again, they factor into so many things with your dealership. So if you get every appraisal into the system, you want to make sure you got your maximum bid amount in there. And anytime you're bumping those trades during your deal, you always want to go back in and make sure you're making those adjustments too into your system. So again, for example, vAuto, you put in your maximum trade appraisal amount in there, finalize that appraisal to save it and store it. And then anytime you're desking that deal or going back and forth with the customer, and if you bump that trade, it'll go back into the system. The other area that you need to do with appraisals, and this is key because you want to drive down, margin compressions, everything, a lot of our big topic that everybody's talking about. And one way to control margin compression is obviously recon and what you spend on recon. But as you do an appraisal, don't just have an average flat amount as your recon amount. And I know as a vAuto rep for years, a lot of times we teach dealers, if anything, at least get your average in. But we started digging in deeper as we want to go into 2019 with our dealers to help them more on new cars and with used cars. Appraisals is we're really starting to break these things down. So we had a dealer that typically uses 900 as an average recon, and we started actually pulling the last 90 days of sold cars and what the actual recon amounts were. And there's some in there, and we broke it down to the year and the vehicle type. So large pickup trucks. So for example, 2015 large pickup truck, the average recon was $1,700. But on a compact car, it was $890. So it was $900 covered, that average recon of $900 covered the car, but it was way underbidding for the truck. And so they would end up buying trucks and end up owning them worse, and the profit margins weren't as good as those vehicles. So we're really doing a deeper dive with the actual appraisal amounts down to the year and the type of vehicle, and then and overall, what's our average recon. And, just in the 1 week that we started trending it went down $11. But I'm wanting to look at this trend of actual recon down to years and types. And, if we're a month or two into these trends and they're complaining about their grosses being down 100 or 2 a copy, we might be able to see it in the recon that caused that. They might have went from a $1,200 recon to a $1,400 recon, and we're going to know exactly how that happened by car or by appraiser. And I think these are the type of metrics that you definitely want to start digging into going into 2019 as a deeper dive. If new car sales start lightening, you're going to get less trade opportunities, less opportunities to close deals, which trades are involved. So Again, this little quick tip: appraisals, get them, every one of them, into your system. Make sure they're finalized, bump them if they're bumped, sign them to the salespeople, sign them to the right managers, take pictures of them. That way, if it's a be-back, if you do an appraisal and they don't come back for another week, and then there's maybe some questionable damage on the car that you don't remember being there a week prior, photos are going to be big. So that's just going to be one. I'm going to try to do one of these so it's short, because I want to try to do one of these each day and not make them too long. Hope that was helpful. If you do want a free inventory evaluation, lotpop.com. Just fill out the form, and there's actually, it'll give you a go-to or calendar invite. Pick a day and time, and we'll go down a call, help you with your inventory. 844-LOTPOP4, or email me at jrice@lotpop.com. And all these videos will go on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to those. All those get uploaded to the SoundCloud for iTunes and podcasts on either Droid, or for iPhones, you can listen to the podcast. So hopefully this information is helpful, and check out those resources. Stay on top of them. Thanks.